Welcome to the third episode of Creatives on the Come Up. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you had the opportunity to listen to the first two episodes. On this episode, I have a conversation with Brandon McGee. Brandon McGee is a trained actor and voice actor originally from St. Louis, Missouri. While attending college at North Carolina A&T, he received his first exposure to acting. In 2014, he began performing live comedy sketches under an organization named Aggie Night Live, which is based off the hit show Saturday Night Live. Brandon has recently received representation for TV and film and voiceover under Dream Team Talent Atlanta and The Talent Group, respectively. He strives to continually improve his craft and leave his 9-to-5 to become a full-time artist. So without further ado, let's get into the conversation.
Welcome to the stage where dreams take flight, where every brushstroke, every note, every line becomes a beacon in the night. Creatives on the come up, shine bright. We're the ones who dare to dream, turning visions into what they seem. With every step we break the mold, our stories bold and gold. Creatives on the come up, we rise. With passion in our hearts, we never compromise. From the canvas to the mic, we make our mark in the world of art. We leave our spark. From the streets to the studio, we find our way. With every challenge, we find a way to stay. Our creative little force that can't be tamed. In the game of life, we're not just players, we're names. So join us on this journey, where dreams are made. Creatives on the come up, we're here to stay. With every episode, we'll light the way. Creatives on the come up every day.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon McGee. I am an actor here in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been out here now for about 6 years, acting professionally, acting all together now for close to 10 years now.
What made you interested in acting?
So, growing up, I was very quiet, reserved. I really wasn't quick to express my emotions, and I really felt safe to do so. I never felt comfortable to do so. And acting gave me that space, that platform to really express myself and be who I wanted to be. You know, I always had a goofy or silly side, and I was now in a place with people that I felt comfortable doing that with. So that is that. I love telling stories. I love being able to jump into other people's realities, jump into these characters and their realities and share their experience.
What steps did you take when you knew you wanted to be an actor?
Well, first is I'll start with the decision. I wanted to do it. And from there, you just, kind of ask around. And I was thankful enough that I already had friends that were interested in going into the industry. So the first film I did was with one of my best friends. He was the director. And we did a film, and it got selected to a film festival. And I got the opportunity to speak with other directors and to book in my next role from there. And that's when I started hearing about different training in Atlanta and how actors should move. They really want to make this a real thing for themselves.
What has been something positive about your acting journey?
The community. Like, it's nothing like being around just like-minded, hungry artists. Like, you're not alone in this race, and it's a tough road to go down. It's a road of a lot of rejection, a lot of self-doubt. So it's incredibly comforting to have people in your circle that actually knows how you feel and what you're going through. Another positive is this is the most expressive, the most vulnerable, the most transparent I've ever been. I'm more comfortable with self. I'm more comfortable being in my own body. That's a lot of positives, but those are probably the top ones.
What has been some of the negative aspects of your journey?
So, part for the course, you'll deal with some people in the industry that provide a lot of learning lessons. you'll deal with unprofessionalism, you deal with lack of communication. And then sometimes things just don't work out. So for example, I do voiceover, right? And I book something and I do the work, but I never hear about it after I do it. I don't get a copy of the final product or anything like that. Same thing with film. It's possible you do a film and nothing would ever come of it. And it just is what it is.
What advice would you give to someone going through that type of situation?
Take it with a grain of salt. And like I said, it's par for the course. It's going to happen. It is what it is. Like I even heard that from my coaches. They'll have like a bigger booking, and they'll go in the set to film something, and they'll never see it because they don't use it. It's just part of the process. You just gotta take the good with the bad.
Talk to us about some of your training.
So since I've been out here, I've trained at 2 studios and 1 online. And as far as the kind of training, you'll do like self-tape auditions, training for commercial auditions, using physicality. I've done a little improv. I've done tactical training for film, and it's not necessarily geared towards acting, but martial arts training. I think that's about it. That's the bulk of it.
Are there any skills that you've gained over the years that helped you to become a better actor or helped you to get better jobs?
Yeah, I would say the best thing an actor can do is just accrue like different life experiences. Because now you have different reference points to pull from if it ever comes to that point. So the lessons I learned, the strength training, the lessons I learned doing martial arts, and just talking and listening to people. Like one of the things I like to do now is I try to people watch sometimes. And you take the time to, you watch them and then you actually speak to people in different circles to actually pull from them to see what their mindset is and how they move. You just obtain that knowledge everywhere you go.
What do you wish you knew before you started acting?
It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be transparent and know that you're not alone.
How do you deal with vulnerability?
I guess it comes down to just being comfortable being in your own skin and know that everyone's opinion of you is just that, an opinion. And when you get to that point, I think you'll stop searching as much for that external validation. And I know for me at this point, as long as I can be truthful to the scene, be truthful to the character, be truthful to what the writing is being displayed, I can be at peace, whatever that looks like. Of course, there's certain days I'll slip on it, but I'm human. And that's something I just continue to work on.
Is there a role that you would like to be a part of?
I have several. I would love to do a Western. I grew up watching Westerns with my dad. I would love to do something along the lines of like a boxing film. I like to do something like SWAT. And I would also love to do musical biopics. That's one of my favorite genres. That's one of the reasons I got into films. One of the first films I remember watching that I just loved was Ray.
What advice would you give to someone wanting to be an actor?
Just do it. Don't overthink it. The perfect time will never come. The right time is when you start. Yeah, just get started. Just do it. And just figure it out as you go. I mean, there's no secret formula to getting booked. There's no secret formula to being successful. Just do it. Ask, be patient, be kind with yourself, give yourself grace. You'll be all right.
Is there any other aspects of film production that you are interested in?
I have entertained the thought of maybe doing something behind the camera. I don't know. I would say writing possibly. I tend to have ideas that I think will be interesting, and I kind of want to use some of my personal experiences to tell a story, because someone out there might need it one day. You just never know.
What would you like to write about?
So, for example, I have a passion project that I'm working on now. I don't want to say too much, but it deals with it touches on mental health, it touches on grief, touches on spirituality. I think the story I want to tell will be relatable. And I think it'll be a good resource to let people know, hey, you're not alone. I'm not the first person to deal with what I dealt with. I won't be the last. So, for example, that. And beyond that, just whatever comes to mind that'd be interesting. I tend to have random thoughts at times, so just try to tie them down when I can.
You've mentioned earlier that you've also worked in voiceover work. How has voiceover work been different than live action?
So, with live action TV film, you have the luxury of having someone, usually you have the luxury of being on set with someone and be able to bounce off what they're giving you, the energy and whatnot. Voiceover, you're relegated really to just your imagination. So it can be tough at times, but it can be really fun because now you don't have to worry about what people think. You don't have to worry about looking silly because you're by yourself. So go crazy, you know. I think that's the biggest thing, but voice acting is still acting. You know, you still have to deliver a message behind whatever that you're given. There's still a story to be told. Even with commercials and whatnot, they're always looking for, you know, something to get that message across. So I see that was the biggest difference. That is the biggest difference.
Can you talk to us about some of your acting process?
So that varies. But I'll say like the denominator is when I first get a script, I read it as if I'm reading a story. I don't worry about who my character is. I don't worry about what my lines are. I just try to read it as if it's a story. And while I'm reading it, I'm painting the picture in my head. And from there, I like to read for a role I don't have, whoever I'm working across. Because a given actor understands what the other actor is trying to win or obtain in this scene. If I understand what they want, I can understand how to respond to them. I can get in their head. So I try to get a good idea of what the other character wants, and then I start doing my own script analysis of like, okay, how can I achieve what I'm looking to achieve?
How do you feel about the relationship between actors and the crew members on set?
I love it. I mean, it's needed. It doesn't happen without a crew. And I think my teachers really brought this in, really gave me a good perspective on this. The actor has a very small role in a film being made. There's so many things that go on around them that they don't even know. So it'd be a good idea to be good with the crew, especially the ones holding the camera.
What about the relationship between an actor and the director?
Each director is a different experience. Everyone has their own styles. Some styles you're more compatible with than others, and that's okay. But it's an opportunity to, again, just work with hungry artists. They have a story they want to be told. And I'm very fortunate that I've had almost all of my experiences with directors have been pleasant. So I'm very thankful for that.
What do you think made those interactions positive?
An open mind. This open mind, just where the creativity can just flow. Where you can actually have a conversation with them about your character, and they'll want to listen, and they give good feedback, and they know how to give good direction.
How do you collaborate with different actors?
Again, every actor have a different method, so I don't want to step on their toes. Because I've been on several different actors where they don't separate themselves from the character while they're on set, like, at all. And you have some that are really quiet before they go on in front of the camera. You have some that are really social. So you kind of got to gauge that you don't want to interrupt their process, right? So that's the first thing, figure out how they move. And again, after that happens, just be open. Be open to what they give you. And like I said, this is it's a team thing. I don't want to shut out what they're doing. I don't want them to shut out what I'm doing. So just Just be like water. Whatever they give me, I just try to flow with it and still stay within the realms of whatever the scene is.
Do you think that you can separate yourself from your character when you're not on screen?
It's easier now. It's easier now because I've gotten better with, I think, dropping in to my characters. Because one thing I try to do is I try to bring some kind of part of me into the character. If I can connect to the character can connect to the audience, right? So I try to find something that I can relate to, that I can pull from to that character. As far as when everything's said and done, I can walk away from it. And I think at one point I did struggle with it, like when it was like a heavier scene. But I've gotten to the point now where, again, I just pull myself into the character, whatever is needed. And once I'm done, I'm done.
Have you ever had to portray a character that you didn't like?
A few. A few. And I've had, villainous roles. Like I say it now because I'm not doing it. But the number one thing is to not judge them and to humanize them. I don't think anyone just wake up and say, I'm going to do bad things. There's a reason they got to that point in their life. And what is that reason? They're human beings just like everyone else. And they have a story to tell just like everyone else. You may not like it, but it's there. And they're still human. That character deserves to have their story told too. Again, the audience may not like it, but they're not supposed to like it too. Villains are villains for a reason.
Would you rather play a character that is similar to your personality or completely different?
Yeah, I don't know. So I think the last role I had, I did a play, right? And me and the character were like this. We had a lot in common. And I found myself like really overthinking the character because I thought maybe I was bringing too much of myself, and it was no longer the character, it was just me. But it was just me living in those experiences. So I don't know, I don't know if the characters is interesting to me. I'm on for the task. I don't really have a preference. If anything, if I had to pick, I guess something different, because I guess it'll be more of a challenge. Then I gotta really dig deep to see, okay, how can I relate to this guy?
You mentioned that you've also acted on the stage.
Well, yeah, I did my first play. In June. And we performed 3 shows in Macon, and we had really good reviews. It's an off-Broadway show. I think it was either done in LA or New York. I can't remember, but they brought the show down here, and it got some really good reviews. And that's actually how I got into acting. So me doing, I was part of a sketch comedy in college called Acting Out Live. So my introduction to acting was theater and comedy, nonetheless.
What do you think is different about acting on a stage versus acting on screen?
Acting on stage keeps you on your toes. And I learned that every crowd is different. There's gonna be some things that you don't think is funny, but once you deliver it, they'll laugh their butt off, And then theater is the actor's medium, With TV and film, you gotta worry about framing and blocking and all that. Well, framing. With theater, you're just out there, and whatever goes, goes. You can't redo it. There's no take two. So whatever happens, you got to go with that flow. So it really keeps you on your toes, and from that standpoint, it's really exciting. Film is exciting too, but theater is exciting as well. Again, it keeps you on your toes because every show is going to be different based off the crowd. The 3 shows I did, I was getting laughs in different spots. I was getting different reactions to what I was saying. And because I remember I did a monologue, and what I liked most about the monologue is that I was breaking the fourth wall. So I was essentially talking to the audience. So because of that, I could react differently, and each time worked. And I think it came out to a pretty good performance because of that.
Do you want to do more improv in the future?
I definitely want to do improv. I just got to find a studio that offers classes that match my schedule. But improv is definitely on my list.
What do you like about improv?
It gets you out of your head. And you free yourself up to all the possibilities of what could be on camera and on stage. And it's really good to have, especially when you working across an actor who's solid at improv. If they throw some stuff at you, you can react to it. And it's fun. At that point, it's just two artists just having fun. Let's see how far this goes. You can always pull it back if it's too much.
Is there a certain genre that is easier or harder for you to portray?
I was going to say comedy being harder, but one thing I realized from doing a showcase and then doing drama is that the difference between drama and comedy is just timing. It's just the timing of your lines. So I wouldn't say one is harder than the other, but I would say I'm more comfortable with drama because I just done more of it.
How would you describe your career in this moment?
It's fun. I've had some very interesting roles as of late. I'm just along for a ride at this point. So I've had the privilege to really dabble into some different kind of films, and I'm very thankful for that, and I'm very thankful for where my career is now. And I think I'm just getting started on top of that. So it all seems really promising, but at the end of the day, I'm just enjoying the ride. The good, the bad, and everything in between.
What do you see for yourself in the future?
I can see myself being a leader, man. I can see myself having a prominent place in the voiceover world. I see big things. I think I'm destined for great things. I'm just going to keep doing the work until it comes to fruition.
Is there a point in your career where you would say, I've made it?
Yeah, no. That's a very dangerous place to be in because at that point, I think complacency comes into play. So I don't want to get to a point where I feel like I just made it. I want to keep learning. I want to keep growing as an artist as long as I'm willing to do it. I mean, as far as like goals, is if I can just do this full time, I'm content, and everything after that is just cherry on top.
All right, this has been the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you enjoyed my conversation with Brandon. I had the privilege of seeing him act on a set before, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. Oh, also, check him out on CBS on the TV show Beyond the Gates. And also, if you can, support the podcast on social media and wherever you listen. So thanks again. And this has been Creatives on the Come Up.
Welcome to the stage where dreams take flight, where every brush stroke, every note, every line becomes a beacon in the night. Creators on the come up, shining bright. We're the ones who dare to dream. Creators on the come up, shining bright. We're the ones who dare to dream. Turning visions into what they seem. With every step we break the mold. Our stories bold and gold. Creators on the come up, we rise. With passion in our hearts, we never compromise. From the canvas to the mic, we make our mark. In the world of art, we leave our spark. From the streets to the studio, we find our way. With every challenge, we find a way to stay. Our creativity, a force that can't be tamed. In the game of life, we're not just players, we're named. So join us on this journey where dreams are made. Creators on the come up, we're here to stay. With every episode we light the way. Creators on the come up every day.